Ooh, that's a little better. All right. Start streaming. Here where I can see it. I think we're gonna scoop it down. Here, go just this. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Camera readjusted here. Boop. All right. We are back in it. Make sure we got some audio. Oh, nice. That sounds good. Sounds really good. Wait. 90909. Facebook's down yet. Okay. Frames. The bitrate looks better. Good. Okay. Turn that down a little bit so we don't pick it up in the mic. Okay. What's up, peeps? Morning, morning. We're going to do a little tweaking on the mix on this track here. I'm going to give it a run through and see where we're at from last night. Basically, I think the arrangement's done. Just have to give it a listen and see if there's any fine adjustments we want to make here. I want to look at this glue compressor here. We're going to want a faster. I think we want a faster. Well, I'll deal with that in a minute here. Give it a run through and see what we think. That's a touch. All right, see what we got here. Got one on Twitch already. What's up, whoever's on Twitch? In there, that's good. I just do an LFO on that. I think I need to do a volume automation on that so it hits a little harder when it comes in. Okay, so I feel like we could do a little more to that lead to kind of either thicken it up a little bit or maybe add a little grit. I don't know. First, I think what I want to do is I want to throw an LFO on there. Sound liters. Let's throw an LFO on here for these breaks. So when it's breaking, we'll add a little movement on the way up so it's not so static. So like here, but I think LFO. No, I'm gonna do an auto pan actually. I don't want LFO. I want an auto pan. I'm gonna go left to right instead. So when you have your headphones on, it'll kind of morph from left to right. I think that's gonna be a win. Auto pan. And we're only gonna do that when it's filtered. Hold on, puppy, I'm coming. So let's, probably won't hear this if you're on your phone, but we're gonna go on. Might be a win right there. See. And we're gonna listen to it in the headphones and see what we think. Let's see here. Yeah, that's nice. Then we're gonna probably just leave that on. And then and here we're gonna turn it off because this is our main, our big ultra impact here. So it's supposed to have the most energy. So we don't want that going side to side. We want it right in your face. Go here, turn that off. So we'll kind of morph as it builds. It's gonna stop. Then you're right smack in the middle. Solid. One second, I'm gonna let the dog out quick. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, what I want to do now is I want to take a listen to these drums. I think I want to tweak this glue compressor a little bit and tighten these up. I don't have them. So this, going to grab these, drag these over here. There we go. Just a tiny bit more pressure. That's good. We just want to be subtle. We don't want to do anything crazy. What's up, whoever's still hanging out on Twitch? Shoot me a message. Let me know who you are. So last night, we open up this here. What kind of settings we got? You know what I think? I think I'm going to save that for here. That way the most impact is on the final drop after the bridge. And let's see what I do for more, on a little more tension when we really build this up here. One more riser effects. Ooh, actually, hold on. Let me see here. What do we... So let me throw some type of. Up a bit so I can hear it. That might work. Let's throw this guy on here and see what that sounds like. A little bit of extra oven. It's already better, just a little bit. And I think I'll do. Still want to do a drum riser, but I'm going to do a different one than I have at the end here. So let's give this a listen and see where we're at. What do we got? I think what we're going to do is we're going to go build one. Screw it. Let's just build one. Let's do something subtle. I want a nice light. I think I'm going to do a light snare. Do I want to do X? See what I got here. There's a lot of good snare, drum, long, minimal. Work. Here. here and actually. Yeah, I think we'll go right there. I think that'll be all right. Boink. Send it. Send it. That, and then we're gonna consolidate all this. Boink. And we're gonna do this right in the clip since we're doing different calls it on there. There we go. Close. Our automation on. And we're here and here. I go up 12. I think give this a little bit of an arc here. See here. What do I got going on with this auto filter? Okay. This one. This one, I want to do it. I think I want to filter it out as it goes. So maybe I'll do that with the mixer instead. I'll just I'm gonna do it that way. So that right in the clip? I can. That'll work. So let's just do it right in the clip. Volume, and I think we're gonna slowly bring that down a touch. You know what? I can actually do it this way. I don't have to do that. Still getting used to all these new features of 11 here. Our clip. Right in the clip. Gonna make it a little quieter. Here, I want to bring this down a little bit. Oh. Reset this. I think we're actually still going to automate this. Track volume here, so we're going to go. That. See what that sounds like. Reverb on there. We're gonna tighten up that fade just a bit. Better. Maybe that was a touch too much. I'll need to bring down a little bit. Touch too loud still. And let's throw another riser on there. These risers, they're all for like peak hour tracks. That's a hard pass. I don't even know why I look at those. I do that every time. Wait a second. Oh, that's the only one I got. On YouTube. Thanks for stopping in. Make sure I got this auto pans on. Good. flap here. That 2, I think. Do a quick fade out on that after it comes in. That's better. Okay, so that's good. Now so where we were at yesterday, let's give this a save. So where we were at yesterday is so the synths and the vocals. So the vocals weren't masking this at all, so that's good. And then we got, what was this? That was just really quiet. That's window here. Really? All right, so that wasn't, so the vocals weren't masking the main lead, so that's good. Let's give this a listen and see what might need to be addressed now. We're going to start doing a little bit of mixing. So now what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna check and see if chords break is, oh, I think I already did that. No, I didn't. So chords break. Let's see if, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna put that on chords break. Or glide synth rather. Let's see. I think we're gonna do a dynamic EQ here. We're gonna tighten this a tiny bit, even though that's for something else. Not too worried about that. I think 300, yeah. So first off, we need to This is Glide Synth. So this one, we're gonna close. So we're on the chords break. And the glide synth. Glide synth is orange. So on glide synth here, let's go like this. See if I can remember how to do it here. Oh, it's over side chain. So I need to do it from chords break. So I need to go here. So I need to go input from glide synth. Now we're gonna on chords break from glide synth. Okay. So like this here, and I want to solo this and see. You don't need a bunch there, actually. Okay. Oh, that's better. I'm doing chords break right now. This is the glide synth EQ. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Got You know what I also want to do? Did I do it? I don't remember if I don't think I'm gonna, but light sidechain. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. Go through here. Good. That's EQ'd. That's EQ'd. Or towards break. Oh, this one's not. I need to EQ this low end out of here. Okay, and how about the low? Did I do the low? I did the low. Okay, that's good. Strings, that's EQ'd. We got that's EQ'd. That one's EQ'd. Those are the same, so I should just compile those, but I don't feel like it. Fill, that's EQ'd. This one is nothing. Shaker's EQ'd. Kick. Definitely don't need. Alright, that actually sounds a lot better. A little more punchy just by getting rid of that 30 hertz on the bottom there. Kick, 808. We don't have an 808, so we're just going to get rid of that one. Better snare here. That's not EQ'd. We're gonna give this a listen here. Oh yeah, jeez. That extra crap. Tighten that up a little bit. So. Open that up just a tiny bit, just to get a little more depth in there. A little more brightness. You know, we're going to do a shelf here instead. Do the right shelf, though. Better. And this is nothing on snare 2 yet, so we'll leave that for now. And how about our Mondo? Good. Give it another run through, and actually let's save it. Not save it. X. New project. That way we have something to default to if we need to. All right, so I'm gonna bump this up a little bit and give her a listen in the headphones and see what we think. I think this one I want to go. Move my ears for a second, not my eyes. That thing. Okay, so now at some point I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do. Okay, we always got to do a button ending, so I'm going to have to do something just like a act or something. So I think that's solid. I don't know much else that I need to adjust. Sounds pretty good. Listen to it through the iPad here. I mean, that's pretty good. Can't. Sounds pretty decent, even through frickin' iPad speakers. Bet that's gonna sound pretty darn good in the truck. Let's go like this here. Let's see what the computer thinks. That's gonna be a touch on the high side, I feel like, after we added that lead, but shit, look at that. That's solid. That's really solid. Look at that. We have to touch on the highs. That's a little harsh. So I'll do a slight shelf on the master. That's solid. Good balance mix. That's gonna sound good in the truck. Already did. Already did before I did any of this, so. Okay. I think what I want to do now is I want to do a little bit of mixing. So what is what here? Actually, we're going to need to go through here and first trim the fat. So what are we not using? This one we're not. Oh, we are. Okay. That's good. So we got everything used here. So that's good. Here is all used. We're going to go synths. We're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to get rid of the brass lead. So that's good. Get rid of all the pads because we don't have any pads in here. Goodbye pads, bases. We can get rid of bass, bass 2, bass 3. And then sound effects. We get rid of white noise fade. Get rid of impact. We can get rid of synthesized MIDI. We can get rid of just a simple. We're gonna bring this over here. Boink. Like that. Shout out to everybody who's hanging out. Thanks for stopping in. Bump this up just a touch. I think I'm just going to do an automatic. clean all those up a little bit because sound effects are all high pitched for the most part, so we don't need any other than that. Other than that impact. So we don't need any low end material clogging up all our headroom here. Okay. Oh, we should be able to go back into remaster here and open this guy up, and let's start seeing phone time. I got to figure out all the ones that we're going to use here. So we're going to do verse. Turn that off. And then where's our sub bass? We can turn sub bass off. Because we're just going to do that as a single unit in the mixer. Then we got synths. We got glide synth. Figure out which one's which here. So we're going to turn the neutron off. Spider, what's this? World? I don't know what that's all about. We'll just turn it off. Dash, cowbell. We're going to need all those. Chords break. Chords. Okay, so what I want to start with is these first strings. Give this a listen here. So I think we're gonna go. Hold in here. I'm gonna close my window. Give me 1 sec. Oh, it's froze. Hotter than blazes in here, or colder than heck. So I turned the heat up. Then I got too hot, so I had to open the window, and now I'm cold again. Okay, so fills. So I want to offset that. Where's my F? Oh, you know what? There is a relay. Where is it? Oh, I didn't name it. That's the problem. Fills. You've heard it. Make these fills. Fills. So. Okay. Then we'll turn that off. Glide synth. So, hold up, drum. Let's see what we got about this here. I had my volume coming through my speakers, and these are open back headphones. So what was happening is I was getting spill in, and it was making everything sound really metallic. So, turn my speakers off. My crash. I think I want to bring my crash over this way just a touch. And the tom fill we don't need to because I have that panned. So where's my crash? Up. Crash. Okay. Slide synth might need to come down just a teeny bit. But it's also the lead, so we don't want to bring it down too much. Tighten that up a little bit. I think that's what it was. I think we needed to just squeeze it in a little bit so it's not so wide. Because I have a problem with wanting everything to be so wide. So what happens is the more crap you pile on, it's just super ambient instead of being like in your face. So I squeeze that in a little bit to try to make that the main focus of the final 16 bars. I have. Oh, that's right. We got to get rid of. We have a neutron on that. We don't. We're not using those, so we're going to get rid of that. Got rid of the cowbell there. So I think I'm going to scooch the cowbell over a tiny bit too. Maybe I'll just widen it. Okay, now let's go back here and question. I think we're gonna stop it there. Clean that up a little bit. Less things fighting. Let's listen to our tom fill. I think that's okay. Maybe I can go down a tiny bit. I don't want to go too much because I still kind of want that to be right in your face. No, I'm gonna leave it. I think it'll be all right. That's a bit excessive. Alright, though. Side, but that's all right. White noise build. We're gonna split these, so we'll go downlifter 1 and downlifter 2. We're gonna split these left and right, so they're here and here rather than in the middle, because they're effects. So you want them back here, not up in front of everything. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna open up the middle for the main lead. Open mixer here, so we got downlifter, excuse me, downlifter 1 and downlifter 2. I'm gonna go solo these out. Gotta play them. Better. Just bring them in maybe a tiny bit too much. Bring them up a touch. Come up. Ooh. Okay. Bring it over here. I think I'm actually gonna bring those back down. Touch. Bump those up one because it's actually pretty. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. That's actually pretty loud. That's better. White noise build. I think with the splash, I think we're gonna leave that centered. I think we're just gonna widen it out a little bit. Now I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw a utility on here. Utility. Let's just. Okay, so let's throw ozone on this and see what happens. Bump this up a little bit more. Give it a shot. I think we're pretty close. Ozone. Actually, this is going to need to go here. Poink. Poink. All the monitoring tools up right now. We're gonna do is we're gonna go in here and we're gonna do a little screen record. Link. Ooh, what's here? Run this assistant just to see what it's gonna do here. Manual, medium. I think we're gonna go vintage. Start it over here. That's our loudest point, so we're gonna start it over. Vintage, intensity, medium. Minus 10, that's pretty solid. Listen here. EQ. Okay. Look at that. Wow. Did a good job this time. Let me see it. Dynamic nodes. Man, see what happens when you take your time? I always had a problem with rushing through the final stages, and then I would run this assistant just to see what it would do, and the EQ curves would be just like a roller coaster. It'd be like a huge boost in the lows, and then it'd like cut out a ton right in the middle here, and then it would come over and like do a huge boost on the highs. And like took my time, set all the levels up, I unmasked everything, and I carved everything out where I needed to. And look at this. Like, huge difference. Just minor. And I think this is... I was going to carve some out. This might be a little aggressive, but I was going to carve some out of the highs. And then I don't know if I need this, but I'm going to listen to it and see what it did. And then I'm going to do some mid-side EQing myself. That put me right around where we want to be, is right around 10, minus 10 LUFS. Listen to it, bypass it. Subtle. Limiter. I'm just going to try out these different limiter modes and just see, because I went with the analog style, or the vintage stuff, just because I knew this isn't like a super in-your-face modern track, so I figured this vintage stuff would add a little more grit and color to it rather than just being like super tight. I think I'm going to stick with modern. I like how that sounds. It adds, if you listen, when I go between these two here, tube or analog, it's kind of diminishing the top end of the drums a little bit, so you lose a little bit of your snare and your punch. Where in the modern, in your mids on that glide synth and the tops of the drums, you can really feel it a little more. Especially that synth. So when I switched to analog, I thought that might actually give me a little more color, but the modern, this actually smooths it all over and it kind of mushes it together, which in this case I don't think is what I want, where over here it just adds a little bit of crunch and crispness to it, so it's a little more intelligible. Let's see. There's literally, I don't know why this is here. Nothing's happening with it, so we're just gonna turn that off. It's literally doing nothing. One thing I've been researching is mid-side EQing. Now, what I think is supposed to be a good thing to do is on your mids and your sides. Well, on the side rather, on the left and right rather. So, if I go left and right, so mid side. So on our sides rather, this is a interesting. So mid is straight up the middle. So that's what this is. So this is affecting basically everything that's right up the middle, all the main important stuff. So we boosted the algorithm did rather. It boosted our mids, basically our main stuff. So it's adding a little bit of life to the vocals and that glide synth. Everything in this 1 to 5.5K range is getting a light boost, so half a dB. So in mastering, you want your adjustments to be really subtle. That's why I was really happy to see this. There isn't any big giant waves, so we got a half a dB boost, and that's just adding a little bit of flavor to our main elements. But on the side, all of our basically extra elements, we don't want any low-end information for the most part, because everything on the outside, it's all going to be in the high register. So effects, risers, builds, drum builds, things like that. That's all panned out a little bit. If you remember me going through my mixer, that was all this stuff in the white, and that's all just additive things. So we want to take out the low end on that, if there is any. And I want to see what that sounds like. If it doesn't sound good, we'll leave it. But we're gonna... can we solo this? Oh, we can. So we're gonna solo the side. I think we already did a... We might not have to do this. I think we already did a decent job. I think we'll just do it at 30. Let's see what's in our mid here. So this is a good example. I've never actually listened to this, so this is good for me to learn too, where over here, if we're soloing our sides, it's everything that's out here. So the tops of our vocals, the string lead, and notice how you don't hear that glide synth at all, because that's shooting straight up the middle. So if I go, let me look at this here. If I solo this, and then let's go down to our master here and throw on Insight, and we'll check our... Oops, I need to go back in here and turn that. So see how right up the middle that is? So we're not picking that up at all on our sides. So if we listen again, you almost don't hear that at all. You almost don't hear any of it. But if you put it in the mid, now you hear every bit of that. So I think we're actually good on the mid side. Don't really think I need to do too much with that. Let's just go stereo. One thing I'm starting to do is just kind of audition all of the different options. I think we're going to stick with analog on that. So I think this is okay. Let's listen to this here. I think we'll leave that as is. I think that's kind of about where I was going to be. And I think what we're going to do, let's listen to it in mono. That's pretty good, and I think interested as to how that's clipping through peak 3. That's what I want to do now is I'm going to let this whole track play through and kind of see where we're at on our lefts here to get an idea of our average. What am I looking for here? Here, insight. So this, we're gonna play this whole thing. Let's plan. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. like on the iPad. What's up, Tony? Oh, it's Christian. What's up, Christian? We're at negative 12. Okay. Pretty solid. I think what I need to do here is on my maximizer. So I need to bump that down like another decibel or two. Yeah, and thanks, man. I definitely think it's a vibe. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, hey, I'm getting real into this like funky bass line stuff. I'm like slowly drifting away from even wanting to do like EDM. And I'm like really into this like funky bass line, Bruno Mars style or like Dua Lipa style stuff. Calvin Harris, just like super funky. Just fun. So much better. So listen on the speakers now and see. Oh yeah, so he just went heavyweight tournaments all come military time. It's really annoying. People send stuff in the chats, and the averager I use to compile all the chats in the one thing, it's in military time, so I never know what frickin' time people are messaging. Good way to change that settings. Here. Oh. I'll do. I know it's 3. The clock says 15. That's why I get confused. Military time. I think this is pretty. I think this is done. Give it one more. Let me blast this. I'm gonna mute the mic here for a second, and I'm just gonna blast this really loud and see what I think. Focus right. We're gonna. What's up, Feb? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I had to mute it because I cranked my speakers up really, really loud to give it a good listen, so I didn't want to bleed into the mic. But yeah, I love hip hop. I actually got more into music production when I started doing beats and stuff. I haven't done any in a while, but I started doing a ton of um, um, instrumentals and hip hop beats to try to sell. So I had a store going for a little while, but that kind of got pushed to the wayside. Now I'm kind of working on some different opportunities and stuff. But I also don't have super great studio monitors. So I've been using, like when I do the mixing, I've been using my reference headphones. They're open backs, so they're actually made for like mixing and mastering. I got the DT 990s. So they're like the Bayer Dynamics, one of the main yeah, man. Yeah, I'll take a listen to it. I mean, let me throw it on the I'll just throw it on the screen or stream here and um give it a listen. I'd love to give you some input. Give me 1 second here. What do you think of everything you're hearing? Does this sound all right, or anything in your eyes? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's what I'm actually getting into. So instead of trying to like get album placements and stuff with labels, I've actually switched gears. And this is, I don't know if you're familiar with what's called sync licensing, but it's basically producing music for like ads, commercials, TV, movies, and things like that. So it's a little different, but I think it's a little more secure. So that's probably why you'll hear different like song structures and things like that. Let me save this here. So this is the master. And thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I've been working hard at getting a little better at production and stuff. So it's making me feel good when people actually like it. Where I used to take me a month to get this far, and now I slam this out in a couple of days. Well, a couple sittings rather, not days, but a few hours. So let me go over here. Is whatever you sent me, is this a hip hop track or? Hey, chat. Yeah. Oh, it's not on here. Darn. How can I do this? Here. I want to, can you drop that link in the chat one more time? I want to use it on my computer, but it's not updated. Oh, perfect. Thanks, man. Or person. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I apologize. So let's give this a click here.
I just made some cash, that's a rag stack. I just swiped a card, that's some rags back. You ain't got no money, take your rags back. Uncle Sam up in the chat, you tags back. Yeah, pretty leaning. I just pop me one of them blues and beanies. Whoa, whoa, cause the CNG. Fold you saying, fold you talk about, fold you mean G. Wait, Gucci on the bottoms. I did for that bitch and then I ran off to Bahamas. I've been counting big racks, I've been counting commas. If you stay away from me, little boy, we had no problems. Might just bring one of them pointers out, yeah. Got like 30 of them pointers now. I cook them up and then I roll them out. Put up on them and I spray them now. I've been mixing purse up with the potion. I just want slide up on me, that's commotion. I get that bitch wet just like an ocean. Off the 30s, boy, I just be floating. Oh yeah. You ain't my homie, you my fan. I just made a pint of Robitan. I just gave that shit right to my man. I told him so that shit and get it back before I land. Whoa, I'm sipping on the champagne. Yeah, oh, yo, bitch, you give me good brain. Yeah, oh, the foreign cool is going and it's swerving. Whoa, yo, bitch, she in my DMs, but I'm curving. Whoa, hey.
Let me listen back to this one more time here.
Made some cash. That's a rag stack. I just made some cash. That's a rag stack. I just swiped a card. That's some rags back. You ain't got no money. Take your rags back. Uncle Sam up in the chat. You tags back. Yeah, pretty leaning. I just pop me one of them blues and dingy. Wait. From me, little boy, we had no problems. Might just bring one of them pointers out. Yeah, got like 30.
Did you produce this beat, or are you the vocalist, or what is this to you, or did you do the whole thing, or? And it's definitely got the more modern hip hop vibe to it, so I can agree with that. Okay. Did you record the vocals and stuff yourself, or did you just have somebody track it for you, or? 'Cause in my opinion, I think whoever made the beat, it's kind of really monotonous. The quality of the vocals is pretty solid. Maybe a little more ad libs and stuff, but it's pretty decent. The beat, I think, could use a little more jazz and stuff to it. It's just like literally the same thing, other than in the middle where there's that deep 808. I feel like you can use a little more stuff on the sides. Obviously, it's a hip hop track, so you don't need 9 trillion things. But I feel like maybe some crashes or some impact, something to. They're called transitions. So like when you get through your verse and you get into your chorus, you want like I'll play it here. Let me see here. So like right here, I got this crash, and that's yeah. So like if you listen to this here, as it comes in, you'll have this big crash right here, and that kind of symbolizes the new portion. So things like that, and in hip hop, you want multiple layers of like claps and snares and cymbals and stuff. So when you have just one layer of cymbals, it's super monotonous. So if we go through here and we listen, like
I cook them up and then I roll them out. Put up on it.
So basically, it sounds to me like there's just a 4-bar loop, and then everything's just drag and drop, drag, drop, drag, drop. So there's not a ton of variation. So in hip hop, you want more variation and stuff like that. So if you have the files and stuff, you can add another layer of cymbals, and you could tweak that beat a little bit, and that'll clean it up quite a bit. The vocals sound good. I think it's pretty solid for someone who thinks that they're not on the level of recording or producing a beat. Vocal mixing is a whole different monster. I can't be upset about how the vocals sound. They're pretty solid. Maybe a little more processing, but for someone who says they can't produce a beat, I think you did a pretty damn good job on the vocals. I'm gonna hit you a follow here. Any questions on anything, or? And if you want, why don't you drop me a follow on Twitch, and I'll hit you back. And then worst case, if you want to bounce stuff off me, you can always feel free to hit me up, and I'm always happy to give feedback and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if how long you been doing this? You've been doing it a while, or just a little bit, or? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that too. I didn't see it because I don't have Twitch up. I use Restream because I'm on like 4 different platforms, so I can't see what pops up. So I apologize. I appreciate the follow, man. I'll hit you back up when I'm out of here. Oh man, so you've only been doing this for 6 months? That's pretty solid for 6 months if you were able to track those vocals and stuff. You got your own setup and stuff, or did you do it in a studio or? I rapping for a little over 2 years, that helped. Nah, man. All you need is realistically, when I started off, I'll give you some advice. When I started, I've been producing for like 8 years, but I've only been like seriously producing, like trying to get better for like two. Um, when I started, I thought I needed all this fancy stuff and nice equipment and blah blah blah. You don't. I bought all these like plug-in suites and all this nonsense, and I don't use 90% of it. You know, you pay thousands of dollars for all this crap, and you think it's going to make you better, and then you don't use it. So I've been like diving into all these things that I bought like 6 years ago, thinking I was going to be a good producer, and now I'm finally learning how to utilize them. All you really need is your laptop. You got your mic, and whatever plugins you use, and then just slowly accumulate stuff, man. I mean, my studio is not that great. It's just two cheesy Mackie monitors and my Focusrite 2i2, and then the computer's where all my power is. I got a ton of money into stuff, but um, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can, if you get the right set of headphones or the right set of speakers in your laptop, you can produce a record on a plane. It doesn't matter. That's why I started mixing with the headphones, because it eliminates your room. You don't have to have a super crazy room now because everything's isolated into your cans. Where I was going to completely reno my whole studio and treat it and do all the sound, and I'm like, I could spend 4 grand renoing my studio, or I could just buy this $200 pair of headphones, and then it eliminates the room. So if you have that, you could do it anywhere, which is good. I would focus on honestly getting better at your arrangements and stuff. That's the big thing for me, is I would make stuff and it would just be super bland, and it'd have like 5 layers, and there wasn't any variation, and it was just super super boring. And now I'm at what you're listening to on my stream here, all this, where I mean, I'll show you all the stuff I got in here, because it's just the little subtleties. 90% of this stuff you can hardly even hear it, but like I got like 40 layers of stuff where before it would be like half of this. Um, so the main thing I would say is do your research and how to spice up your arrangements. And one thing is actively listen to music. So when you're listening to music, say it's going to ruin you because you're going to want to get better, and then eventually you're not going to listen to music to enjoy it anymore. It's going to be just you're constantly tearing it apart and seeing like what makes it and how it sounds and stuff, but that's how you're going to get better. The second I started actively listening to music and picking apart how it was composed, I was able to step up my productions. And I'm not even a great producer. Like I'm kind of average, you know. Um, and I don't think it's a bad thing. It does suck sometimes. You just want to listen to stuff, but you're always eventually it's going to get to a point where you don't even notice. It's just all subconscious, and it just kind of happens. You're like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Um, but I think you got a good start. So a rule of thumb when you do production is every 4 or 8 bars you want something added or taken away. So like if you listen to this intro here, like there's like 3 things, and then I have these vocal chops that are coming in here. And then like we've got claps, so it's been 4 bars, and then we added claps, and we added vocals that are filtered out, and then we've got these sound effects, and then so like then we get into our first main part. So now we have a basic drum pattern. So we're gonna go for, if you look at your screen here, we got 4 bars, and then we add stuff. And then another thing is transition. So you break, like right here, there's a big break. It's only 1 bar. So we're here. Now we've got shakers. We got. Then you have the drum fill, which is your transition. So what you want to do is just always be slowly adding things, and you don't have to pile on 9 million things, because 90% of my arrangement is these drums. But you can even just switch your samples. So if you are like, if you think you have too much, you don't have to pile more stuff on top of it. You can say change your snare or change your clap, and things like that. Let me go into what projects do I have? Let me save this. Sure. I made this Megan Thee Stallion type beat. And that's what's nice about hip-hop songs, though, is they're kind of basic. You don't need a ton of stuff, but you need a little bit of variation. Let me see if I can find this here. Video up style beat. It might not even be in here. Let me go like this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna apologize. See if I can find this. Project files, beats, Megan beat. And also reference tracks are huge. Like if you're working, drag in a copy of whatever track you're trying to emulate, and you can utilize that to actually like go, okay, I have this, I have that. So like here, I have my reference track right here. So you can tear it apart. And what you'll hear is like when you get into this part, or the actual verse.
I'm a star, got these niggas wishing. He say he hungry, this the kitchen. Yeah, that's my dog, he gon' sit down and listen. Call him a trick and he don't get a holler. I'm a star.
So there's extra, like, there's a layer, you have your main cymbals. I would always have 1 layer of hi-hats, and then I would chop it up. And I found that it's better to have multiple layers. So say you have your main, and then you can layer another cymbal on top of it here, and another one over here. So one pattern would be like, and then you'll have like a over on this side, to add space to it. So just little things. So I don't know if you heard that where, let me see, I'll show you. I had an open hat. The open hat's over here. Psst. So instead of just having what was it? Percussion. And then you have that extra layer of the snare. So we have a snare here and a snare here. Or actually, it's... where is it here? I'm all confused. Oh, right here. Yeah, so... little things like percussion. So things like that. I don't know if you're able to hear that on your... whatever you're listening to, but I have that panned off, but we also have just our standard hi-hats. So when we throw a variation on there, it adds stuff over here. So especially if you're listening in headphones, now you have something happening here, and it makes the spectrum sound wider, and it adds variation to it. And then with the open hat on there now, so let's go hi-hats. So the open hat's here, and the cymbal variation is here. So now that's all playing together, and it makes you go, whoa, all this stuff's happening, rather than just having only this. If that makes sense. I'll play this through. So then in here, since this is the hook, I added a, where is it? Oh, snare fills. So these snare fills are huge just for the same thing. So let's just solo our drums here. So we got a snare fill here. Oh, is that in there? No, it's not. I'm sorry. Let me solo. Well, I put these snare fills in here, so little things like this. So this one to start here. That's a different one. So we added a different layer of additions here, and then we have our snare fills. So all that compiled together. So I'll turn these off, and we'll just solo the drums now, and you can hear the difference. Actually, let me that off, and then actually the percussion. Okay. So we have that. That's just a basic beat. And that's kind of what you're working with. So then when you add these little additions here, so I add my open hat and my percussion loop, and then my snare fills. So now I'll listen to it. And then all that together, I added a synth lead. And then we get back into our verse. So you have the variation. I don't know if any of this is making sense for you at all, but I hope that helps. Just these little things. And then as another thing for variation, dude, I'm telling you, I wasn't like this either. I used to start off just with the kick, the hi-hat, and I thought that's all it was. And then I slowly started adding stuff, and I've ended up where I'm at. And like I said, I'm not even a pro level producer. I'm just some kid who makes music in his bedroom or his office, you know. So, but I hope that helps a little bit, if that makes any sense at all, because I don't know if you're wearing headphones or not, but if you are, I hope you're able to like notice how that filled out the spectrum a little bit, because you move everything around and it makes everything bigger and wider and more interesting. And let me see here. So like with my kick, you don't even have to add things. You can literally just change your variations on the kick and bass. So like that's 4 bars. Most people will just loop that. But what I like to do is I like to change that. So instead of just going boom, 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 you'll do that, and then you make an alteration. So now we're here, and we add 2 more. Little things like that too. So instead of it just being the same exact pattern every single time, you're keeping him interested. It's all about interest, which is the hardest thing to do, because like if you have the same thing over and over and over, it's just like, oh, I've been listening to the same exact thing for 3 minutes straight or whatever. So then it comes down to adding little elements and things like that to actually keep your listener interested. That's the main thing, is keeping the listener interested, as well as like doing more ad libs and stuff. A lot of the stuff I listen to, there's tons and tons of layers of just the vocal chain. So lots of ad libs, and there's like tons of different stuff, and also layering up just specific words. So you're like, oh, something all about money. You would record that 3 or 4 times, and then just cut the money and stack them all up, and then it makes that specific word so big. So instead of just having like one vocal take, you have 3 or 4, and they're all different. If you just copy paste it, you'll actually get what's called phase cancellation, and it'll actually make it quieter, believe it or not, because you're just playing the same thing on top of it. So you record the take a couple different times and comp it all together, and you can take little pieces of that and stack it and line it all up, so it actually thickens everything up instead of just having one single vocal take. Let me see what you did here.
Spray now. I've been mixing Perso with the potion.
So like right there, potion, like if you had another take, you could stack that and like throw a saturator on it or something, and you can actually fatten that up and add what can I don't want to say excitement, but interest. So you go, oh, that's something different than just one thing. Or you can do it ad libs, like potion way out wide with a ton of reverb on the left and right, and then they're hearing it here, not here. It's a lot of little things to think about. I don't know if I'm overwhelming you with a ton of information. It's just nice to have somebody taking interest in the stream for once. And what DAW do you use? Honestly, I'll have to look at that when I get a chance. I don't know. I'm gonna have to whoever else. I'm gonna swing off for a little bit, do some lunch. I think I got my project pretty much wrapped up for what I wanted to do. But let me see. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the chat, man. Appreciate it. Let me know. I followed you on SoundCloud too. Hit me back there. And if you ever want opinions or anything, or if you want me to produce a beat or something for you, I'm happy to help out, man. Let me know. I'll try to find you on Twitch here when I get off, and we'll track you down. But I'm gonna hop off and do some lunch and chill for a bit before my gig tonight. So thanks for stopping in. I'll probably be on tomorrow. I also do DJ live streams too. So pop in whenever. Shoot me a message. Happy to work with you. Appreciate it. I'll catch everyone later. Thanks for stopping in.